Imagine waking up tomorrow and looking up at the sky, only to see, not one sun, but two blazing orbs lighting your world. Two suns. Twice the heat. Twice the light. Twice the danger. The sky itself would no longer feel familiar. Seasons, nights, even the very rhythms of life as we know them, all rewritten. But what would really happen if Earth had two suns? A second Sunday. It sounds like science fiction, but binary star systems, where two stars orbit each other, are actually common in our galaxy. Nearly half of all sun-like stars exist in pairs. Earth, however, has evolved under a single sun for over 4.5 billion years. Introducing a second sun would not just double the light in our sky, it would fundamentally reshape the planet. To understand the consequences, we must first consider the properties of a Sunday. Our sun is a G-type main sequence star, providing just the right amount of light and heat to sustain life. But what if a second star, even slightly smaller or farther away, entered our system? How would it affect our climate, our ecosystems, and the delicate balance that has allowed life to flourish? The first, most obvious effect of a second sun would be light. Twice the sunlight would mean hotter days, shorter nights, and dramatically altered seasons. Plants and animals that evolved under a single sun might not survive the sudden change. Photosynthesis, the process that powers almost all life on Earth, could accelerate in some regions and collapse in others. Deserts could expand, while polar regions might melt entirely. But it's not just heat. A second sun would change gravity. Even a smaller star, with a fraction of our sun's mass, would tug on Earth's orbit. The planet could shift closer to one sun at times, farther at others. Tides, governed by both the moon and now influenced subtly by a second sun, could reach extremes never seen before. Coastal cities would face floods on an unprecedented scale. Night itself might cease to exist in some parts of the world. Depending on the orbital arrangement, the planet could enter a state of perpetual twilight, or even double dawn, where one sun rises as the other sets. Circadian rhythms, the internal clocks that regulate sleep, reproduction, and migration, would be thrown into chaos. History and science provide clues to what life under two suns could look like. Astronomers have discovered planets orbiting binary stars, like Kepler-16b, a gas giant with two suns, or Kepler-47c, a circumbinary planet. These worlds often experience extreme seasons, unpredictable climates, and intense radiation. While life has not been confirmed on these worlds, simulations suggest the environment is far harsher than Earth. Even a small change in solar radiation on Earth today can trigger ice ages or heat waves. Now imagine doubling the energy input, altering the orbit, and forcing ecosystems to adapt in decades, not millennia. Human civilization, built for predictable seasons, would face agricultural collapse, food shortages, and the need to reinvent the way we live entirely. Step by step, let's walk through what could happen. Days become longer and hotter. Some regions experience near-perpetual daylight. Crops like wheat and rice struggle. Forests overgrow in some areas while dying in others. Earth's orbit becomes slightly elliptical. Some years, we swing closer to the secondary sun. Summer temperatures spike. Winter may disappear entirely in certain latitudes. Ocean tides become extreme. High tides rise dramatically as the secondary sun subtly affects gravitational pulls. Coastal cities face repeated flooding, reshaping coastlines over decades. Species adapted to darkness, such as nocturnal animals, face extinction. Others, like desert plants and heat-tolerant animals, may flourish. Entire food chains collapse, forcing rapid evolutionary pressure. Humans would need new technologies to cope. Agriculture would require artificial shading, irrigation, and genetically modified crops. Cities might need reflective domes or underground living spaces. Energy demand could spike due to extreme heat and shifting weather patterns. Over centuries, increased solar radiation could accelerate erosion, melt polar ice sheets entirely, and raise sea levels dramatically. Continental climates could become tropical, altering rainfall, deserts, and river systems globally. In short, a second sun wouldn't just brighten the sky, it would rewrite the story of life on Earth. Civilization, ecosystems, and even the planet's physical shape would be forced into a new chapter of evolution and adaptation. Two suns. The dream of science fiction, the reality of countless star systems. For Earth, it would mean more than dazzling sunsets. It would mean survival challenges on a global scale. Our planet's delicate balance, honed over billions of years, would be tested like never before. Life is resilient, but resilience has its limits. In the presence of two suns, some species would thrive, others would vanish. Humanity would be forced to innovate, adapt, and perhaps redefine what it means to live on Earth. So the next time you look up at the sky, imagine, what if there was not one, but two? How would your world change? And what if this change came not slowly, but suddenly? Could we survive the dawn of a second sun? Stay tuned for our next journey into the impossible. What if the moon disappeared completely? The answers may surprise you.